Okay, so here's a video tutorial of how to put on an underbust corset alone by yourself and how to lace it correctly. Basically, I work in a corset shop in Camden, yay, and a lot of the time I get customers buying corsets but then kind of being quite nervous because they don't have someone there to lace them in before a night out and they're not sure of how to do it themselves, and I try and show them in the shop, but obviously it's quite a lot to take in, especially if it's your first corset. So I tell them to look online for tutorials, and apparently there's not that many. So I figured I may as well do my own. Okay? The first thing you want, obviously, is your corset. And you're going to want to make sure you have unlaced it fully at the back, the whole way up and down. And this one is slightly stuck. Let's just loosen it out until it's completely undone, like that. Then you're going to want to work out which way is top and bottom. Some corsets have got more of a kind of, they come up between the breasts, then it's kind of easy to work out. Some of them are more flat cut with the underbust, so it can be more difficult. Some people manage to get an overbust upside down. I'm not quite sure how they manage that because it's got cups there for your boobs. They're not some kind of weird leg holder thing. Anyway, I will do an overbust tutorial at some other point. Anyway, generally speaking, there's a knot in the string. That's usually at the bottom. On this one, it's at the top, just to make life nice and complicated. So anyway, you take your corset and you wrap it around your body. Just sort of loosen it and stretch it and make sure it's going to go. Then you're going to want to put the second one through the hole. Don't start at the top. It just makes it easier in terms of getting it on, because if you put the top one on first, it can make it really difficult. Just at the angle it sort of bends away at, so just get that one through and then work your way down. It takes a little bit of patience, a little bit of wiggling around. It's usually more helpful if you have a mirror to look into it. There you are. And they'll just pop into place. And then you do the top one up finally. And then just give it a wiggle, pull it down, make sure everything's straight, because obviously if something's wonky now, it's going to be wonky when you tighten it, and nothing looks worse than a corset with the busk kind of going diagonally across the body. That's generally a sign of an ill-fitting corset, usually too big, or that can also mean that it's just badly made and the pattern's not been cut very straight. So, anyway, once you've got your corset on and you're happy with your positioning and all your clothes underneath are positioned as you want, I mean get your t-shirt as you want, because if it's too high up or too low down it's going to be very difficult for you to adjust it later. Also, I suggest if you're wearing a t-shirt with a skirt, I suggest that you tuck your t-shirt inside your skirt, because otherwise you'll get that kind of nasty bit flapping around underneath the corset, which, you know, you don't really want. So once you're all ready and sorted, you need to get your hair out of the way, it's long, and then just feel behind you and feel for the two loops in the middle. You see everywhere else is crisscross, but right in the middle there's just a single loop on either side. So you want to get your fingers through that, just pull it out. Just keep pulling, tight as it'll go, until you feel the resistance. Right. Then what you might want to do is just tie it loosely around the front. It just stops it pulling out when you fiddle around with it later. But whatever you do, do not just tie your corset up the front here and think you can leave it like that. I've seen a lot of girls doing this, and I really don't know why it's come about, because for one, it looks awful. You've completely distracted the eye from the curve of the body, from the line of the corset. It looks terrible. I don't understand why you'd want to do it anyway. And also, the laces on a real corset are going to be made out of sturdy nylon, but the corset itself is made out of, you know, pretty fabric. It's made out of lace, it's made out of silk, it's made out of taffeta. Why on earth would you want to damage that fabric by having these strings rubbing against it? You will damage the fabric. It will just get worn away on all the points of pressure, and you will ruin a perfectly good corset very quickly. So just don't do it. Anyway, once you've got your corset half laced, you want to feel with your fingers and find where it crosses over in an X over the top of the fabric at the top. Pull that X with your finger and find the next one, pull it too, and the next one, and then just keep going, working out towards the middle. And start at the bottom and do the same, working up. And you're gonna want to do that a couple of times, just working it into the middle and pulling on the middle laces again to tighten it up until you can tighten no more, or until you're comfortable, depending on your personal preference. And then you simply tighten a knot or a bow. Usually a double bow is best because then there's less risk of it coming undone. And you're finished. One perfectly laced corset. This corset's a little small for me, as you can see it's practically touching at the back. A little small, a little big. Ideally you want a gap of about 2 inches, although some people prefer the look of when it's completely fully closed, and people also argue that it gives your spine more support that way. But generally speaking, that's a matter of complete personal taste. Anyway, I hope this has been informative for you. Comment, rate, ask me questions, whatever.